Hey everybody, Scott here with the Trek Bike Store and ABC Bicycles, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's night riding. More than ever before, we have a ton of riders that are riding at night just due to, well, night's coming a little bit sooner because of daylight savings time. So here are my 4 pro tips to riding not only safely at night, but a whole lot more fun as well. Because one of my favorite things and one of the coolest things to breaking up a mundane route that you ride all the time is switching it up by riding at night. It really changes the scenery. Just things are way different when you're doing it in the dark. So anyways, these are my 4 pro tips to how to ride safely at night. Tip number 1, it's kind of obvious and right on the nose, but I'm that type of guy. It's always on. And when we're talking about always on, we're talking about riding lights. These are lights specifically for bike riding. They're really cool because these are USB rechargeable lights, so you can use them 24/7, not only during the night, but during the day. 2 different styles of lights that I have on the front of my handlebars here. This is more of a beacon style light. It really grabs people's attention. However, when you're riding at night, sometimes you need a little bit more power. So I like to go with this larger, higher lumen light because it really illuminates the road. Because those potholes tend to sneak up on you really, really fast at night. And we don't want you testing out the pavement. Obviously in the back, we're gonna go with a nice solid or flashing safety light in the rear. A lot of really good choices. I like this one, it mounts right to my saddle. It's also pretty small and compact, super bright. You can see it about a half a mile away. Step number 2 is gonna be BioMotion. I do not want you to look like me when you're riding. I do not recommend wearing all black. BioMotion is a really cool concept because it's not just dressing in high visibility everywhere, it's putting high visibility clothing in strategic areas of your body. Bob here is wearing some really cool gloves. These gloves are high visibility and they're on the hand. Yet again, when you're making signals, it's really nice for drivers to be able to see your hands. Other great ways to wear high visibility is you'll notice his left pant leg is rolled up because Pearl Izumi made this really cool high visibility pattern that goes right here. You'll also notice on the left side because that's the side traffic is going to be approaching you on. They also put a little extra detail in here with a little bit of reflective as well. Really cool. A little pro tip, socks, really inexpensive cycling socks, super comfy. If you get the high vis ones, your legs are moving a lot, and yet again, that BioMotion really, really catches the car's attention. So if you have high vis on your feet, it's way more, kind of a higher chance of cars being able to see you. Number 3 is gonna be contrast. We're not just talking about wearing patterns and things like that, we're talking about wearing contrasting materials. A lot of people like to wear high vis, highly encourage it, but high vis doesn't do too much for you at night. So what contrast is doing is it's not only wearing high vis during the day, but it's allowing you to have different technologies on the clothing, like these retroreflective elements. Retroreflectives are things that reflect the car light. So we have the high vis that's perfect for the day, and then we have some retroreflectives to really grab the driver's attention when you're interacting with them at night. You'll also notice that there's a little bit of retroreflectives on the glove, on the leg, and then there's retroreflectives that you can put on your leg as well to help move and be seen. Number 4 is one of my all-time favorites, and one of my biggest tips that I can give you is stay predictable. Nothing can catch a driver off guard like a cyclist just riding all over. One of my biggest tips is when you're commuting around and say you have a place that you're going on a road, try to find alternate routes to avoid sidewalks. Sidewalks can be a little bit dangerous, especially for cyclists, because a lot of cars are not expecting people to go more than 5 miles an hour. So when you're zipping down the sidewalk, it's really hard, especially at night, for drivers to kind of see how fast you're going, and they could pull out in front of you. I always recommend finding parallel routes. In St. Pete, it's really easy because there's a ton of different gridded streets. Another good thing is to keep it nice straight lines and always use your hand signals so you're nice and predictable. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me. My name is Scott with Trek Bikes and ABC Bicycles. We talked about lights. We talked about BioMotion Bob here. We talked about contrasting colors as well as being predictable. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great night. Stay safe.